The songs of the dead are the lamentations of the living. Book 2, Eldest. Chapter 1, A Twin Disaster. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle, chapter by chapter. I'm Darien and Smartt.
And I'm Lucy Hart.
And welcome back, everybody!
And welcome back!
We appreciate your patience. We're
Yes,
so
thank you.
excited to get started.
So excited. Oh my God. So excited.
This chapter
Is a lot.
I still remember being a kid. And when I read Eragon and Eldest were both already out. So
Yeah.
I was able to just immediately start
dive into
Eldest,
it.
like, I think probably, if I got it from the library, then probably the very next day.
Yeah.
So, like, I went from the end of Eragon to this first chapter very quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't think any first chapter of any book has shook me
Yeah,
quite as
absolutely.
much as this experience.
Yep, absolutely.
Before we get into all that, Lucy,
Yes.
do you have a spark of inspiration?
I do.
Lucy, please
And it's been
share
keeping
with us.
it's been keeping the seasonal depression away.
Oh, good.
And it's been doing so lovely because I love it so much. So it's a mobile game.
Oh, yes.
And it is called DragonVale. And the purpose of it is all you do is you hatch dragons, and then you feed the dragons to become higher level, and then you breed the dragons, and you get more dragons, and then you get a whole bunch. You get some islands. It's all on an islands that you can decorate and do all these things with. And yeah, I played it like years ago, and then I decided I needed something. It was perfect because it actually goes on like real time. So like if I dragons take like 4 hours to hatch this, or like to get this, breed this egg, it will literally take 4 hours. And for me, that helps a lot because I will check in the morning, I will do all my things, and then by lunchtime, I might have an egg that I can put in my incubation little area. And then at the end of the day, when I come home, that egg could be hatched. And then I could like do that. So it gives me stuff to look forward to throughout the day, especially work days, which are really, really, really hard. I've also spent way too much money on this game. It's a mobile game. And this morning I spent I need to get this off my chest. I've spent $50 on this game.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it happens. I am trying to get this gem dragon that I have 19 hours to breed this gem dragon. And so I bought a shit ton of gems because you can speed up the times by spending gems. And so I bought a shit ton of gems, and I was just going breeding and speeding up and breeding and speeding up and breeding. I haven't got it yet, and I don't think I will, which is unfortunate. And so part of me is guilty because I'm like, I used all this money and I don't even think it's going to play out. But it's fine because it does bring me joy, and overall I think that's what really matters more or less in life. As long as I'm not like spending so much money that, oh my God, I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this game and now I can't pay rent. So I'm still fine.
No, I think you're fine. You're allowed to give yourself little treats.
I'm still fine. So I think we're good. But yeah, no, it's been very helpful. And then maybe I'll take like some Snapchats, or not Snapchats. I'll take some screenshots of some of my favorite dragons and we can upload them because some of them are very cool. So
yay, that's really good.
yep, that's my spark of inspiration. It's my spark of inspiration because it's been keeping me sane throughout seasonal depression and work depression.
Yeah,
So
for sure. I hear ya. Mine is I've been playing a tabletop game again.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, with good friend Dalton.
Oh, good, Dalton.
Is the GM, the director, as this system calls the role of the GM in A Girl by Moonlight.
Ah, yay!
Which is a very fun magical girl tabletop RPG. It's just really cool.
It's very fun.
From
what I've heard.
It's very fun. Yeah, I am playing a class that is called the Enigma.
Ooh.
Think you're like tuxedo mask types, okay, but more useful.
Oh.
They are the character in the magical girl story that is not necessarily part of the core group, that the other heroes don't know their true identity.
Okay.
That swoop in and help save the day. And,
that's good.
And that's very fun. The framing device is like it's at a summer camp.
Okay.
That has just kind of been taken over by like a big old corporation, so it's not even like a real summer camp anymore.
Yeah.
And all of our characters are like mythological, spooky horror things.
Ooh.
So then they transcend into their magical girl selves. My character becomes a figure known as Arcadia, who is a dryad.
Ooh.
And it's very fun. And yeah, and it's great. And Dalton is running it. So, of course, as we've talked about Dalton's GMing before, it's brilliant.
Yep.
And spooky and perplexing and wonderful. And I'm just having a really good time.
I'm so glad.
I recommend.
Yep.
It's
That's
a good
awesome.
One. Okay, let us begin.
Let us begin the begins.
A twin disaster. In the days following the Battle of Farthendur, Eragon and Saphira have aided in the recovery efforts as much as they can, though the lingering cost of Eragon's battle with Durza gets in the way. As Ajahad, Murtagh, and the twins return from hunting the last of the escaped Urgals, the party is attacked. A band of Urgals kill Ajahad and drag Murtagh and the twins away into the tunnels. With its dying breath, Ajahad urges Eragon to keep the Varden stable in this coming time of crisis. Arya follows the Urgals into the tunnel to attempt to rescue their taken comrades, but hope is scarce.
Yep, that's a good summary.
What a mood!
Oh, what a mood. What a way to start this freaking book out. I also like how it's like red, and so already it's kind of like, for me it's a little bit ominous.
There's a big old red dragon on the cover. Yeah, that's spooky.
And then it starts with this, and it's like, okay.
This whole, even before the party is attacked, like, this whole chapter is like immediately heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it opens with Eragon walking through like the battlefield.
Yep. That's still littered with corpses.
He stepped over a twisted and hacked Urgal, listening to the keening of women who removed loved ones from the blood-muddied ground of Farthendur.
Yep.
Behind him, Saphira delicately skirted the corpse, her glittering blue scales the only color in the gloom that filled the hollow mountain.
Yep.
It's a lot of reflecting on the events of the battle, and recontextualizing them in a way that I will admit I get what we're going for, but don't feel that this was the most well executed.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think this is a great opening chapter. Like, the shock of Ajahad dying and Murtagh and the twins being taken, presumed dead, like, that's the thing, like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, I that's the only thing that saves this chapter from being, like, a weird tread of ideas that feel like they should have been in Eragon.
Yeah. It's how I kind of viewed it, I was like, it's a summary of what has happened.
A lot of summary.
It's
a lot of summary. And again, not everyone's going to go straight into this. There was like quite a few years in between when the books are published.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that this summary parts were necessarily bad, but like the thing I'm thinking about specifically is Eragon thinking about the battle, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about the combat, the morbid aftermath.
His morbid curiosity to see the...
Yeah, thank you. Before his uncle Garo was slain by the Razak months earlier, the brutality that Eragon had witnessed between the humans, the dwarves, and the Urgals would have destroyed him. Now it numbed him. He had realized, with Saphira's help, that the only way to stay rational amid such pain was to do things. Beyond that, he no longer believed that life possessed inherent meaning. Not after seeing men torn apart by Kull, the race of Urgals, and the ground a bed of thrashing limbs and dirt so wet with blood it soaked through the soles of his boots. If any honor existed in war, he concluded, it was in fighting to protect others from harm. And that last line, I like that. I like the reflection of like, hey, war sucks. This like red badge of courage thing, like get it. Red badge of courage is actually particularly criticizing this idea of war being like inherently noble. So like but y'all know what I mean.
Yep.
It's like, I was there. This wasn't here.
Yeah, that kind of thinking about it wasn't in the middle of the battle.
Which, to be fair, like when you're in the middle of the moment, you
can't really reflect.
You're not processing this, and so I get it. But like the comment of like men torn apart by yes, of course, war and violence like this is always horrible, and
Absolutely.
I'm not saying it's like it was. I'm not trying to say it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I am saying I think we are supposed to understand that it was really bad.
Yeah.
In a way that almost reads as Paolini going back and being like, ooh, I did not present that in the way that I want.
did not present it in the horror that he wanted to portray.
Yes, like
Yeah.
or wants Eragon to reflect on the horror that was not successfully
portrayed. Yes.
communicated then.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And so, and also him being like, he's numb and life has no inherent meaning. And I'm like, okay. Is this the tone?
Yeah.
Y'all, is this going to be the tone the whole book? I'm not. Oh no. I
Yeah.
cannot hang out with this guy for a whole book. I refuse.
Yeah.
I mean, I will, but like.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because it's like, because he's been out for 3 days, and that's like, we as the readers are struck with the severity of how much life was lost, because even in those 3 days, there's still bodies everywhere, and as they're trying to do it, and so that's really rough. And then it's also like he's coming to the realization that his wound that he received has changed him.
It's bad.
I like how they say, fighting Durza and the dark spirits that had controlled him had transformed Eragon. Although for better or for worse, he was still unsure. He felt fragile, as if a sudden shock would shatter his reconstructed body and consciousness. Which is rough.
No, it's really rough. And I do... Because that was something we were talking about the scar in the last book. We were dancing around that because we are aware that it has this kind of like real intangible cost. So I don't know. I think it is good that Paolini took the time to do this, took the time to like recontextualize the battle in its inherent horror and with these description terms. It just is a lot of telling us now, which usually he's very, very good at not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I find this chapter slightly unsatisfying.
That's fair.
Because it's that, like you just said, oh, the battle with Durza has changed him.
Yeah.
But we're being told that we don't actually even see what that means.
What that means is
until later.
Yeah.
Another thing we are told is that Ajahad, with the twins and Murtagh and a group, have gone into the tunnels to go deal with all of any of the remaining Urgals who escaped, because they can't have them lurching around the tunnels, right?
Yep.
And he nods about how the one time Eragon had seen him between expeditions. Oh, this is something they'd just been doing.
Yeah.
Ajahad was enraged over discovering that his daughter, Naswada, had disobeyed his orders to leave with the other women and children before the battle. Instead, she had secretly fought among the Varden's archers.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that I would have liked to see, because what I'm saying is like all of these feel super important.
Yeah.
It feels super important that Eragon is experiencing this like painful aftermath.
Yes.
It feels super important that the battle was this horrific. It feels super important that Naswada stayed behind.
Yeah.
But we're just told these as a checklist of like not even recapping what happened before, but like trying to get you caught up in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the alternative is for us to spend time doing that when the inciting incident of what the rest of the book happens at the end of this chapter. Is Ajahad dying? Is the twins and Murtagh being taken off the board, essentially? That is where it should start.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's wrong for it to not start there, because like I said, like that is important.
Yes.
This instance is the thing that shapes everything else that'll happen.
Yes.
The way it goes down for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So one of writing advice I've heard is like you should start writing and then you take out the first like 10 pages, and that's where you should actually start, because that's by the time you start it, kick it off, go hard. For sure. So I don't know. Sometimes you just have to settle.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I genuinely don't know another way to do it. And really the only thing I don't like is the fact that we didn't get to see Naswada do this cool thing, and we're just told about it. Like, that's the one thing I'm like, I feel like we should have seen her in the last book fighting. Like, and we just don't follow. There's some things at the very end we don't follow up on. But I think when Eragon's running and goes through the archers, he should have seen Naswada with them, recognized her, but it realizes, I can't deal with that right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's right. Where it's like, I think with the battle not being as gory, horrific. That's the other thing. I know I'm talking a lot.
No, you're good.
It's still a book that is being published as for younger readers, right? This is what we would like. It's like a middle grade book. Yeah. So the battle cannot have the description of a cull actually tearing
somebody apart. Yeah.
But the sentence, a cull tore a man apart, can happen later in the past.
Yeah.
Or can happen describing an incident that happened in the past that the reader didn't actually witness.
Yeah.
Because I think that helps with the rating. Like if
Mhm.
you described a Cole ripping a man's arms off, this is no longer a kid's book.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do that here. It's the rating.
Yeah.
But you can say it happened later. Mention it, imply it happened later, and let your imagination do the work that Paolini is wanting Eragon to have to grapple with.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Because I'm curious, because doesn't he do that here, where he reflects on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, he couldn't have actually
Yes,
written a
okay,
battle as
perfect,
horrific as he wants it to be, because that
Would change the
is changing.
whole...
It's like
yeah.
it's like at the end of The Lion King. The hyenas eat Scar,
Yeah, but...
but we don't. The camera pans up. We hear him screaming. We see them lunge in shadow.
Yeah.
But we don't actually see the viscera and the
Yes.
violence.
Yes.
But it's there.
It's
and
implied,
the readers
yeah.
It's implied, right?
Yeah.
But if you show the hyenas eating Scar, this movie is a very different film.
Yes.
The book becomes very different if we actually see the horror of war. But Paolini still wants to communicate that war is
That it was
horrific.
horrific. Yes.
And I think that is
I'm following
good.
you now.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. Because I feel like I do think you have a point in, like, the only way to portray the horror of war is to reflect on this.
Mhm.
It just does feel... Because, like, for me, it's like how I'm thinking it is, like, Eragon should have had a beat, like, in the middle of the battle. And I feel like while I was reading and listening
Mhm.
to that fight, I feel like I was waiting for Eragon, because he says he's never been in this kind of
Yes,
fight
yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like there should have been a moment where, like where him and Saphira are up in the air and he's just struck by the horror of it. And he maybe describes, because it's, mental telepathy. He forces that back. He forces the horror away, because I can't think about this right now.
Mhm.
I can't be overwhelmed by the sheer shock and horror of this. And then I feel like
now we can
that was a
piece
line
it
in
together.
and then he
Yes.
reflects in this. I think that's what I feel like. That's like a lot of Paolini's is missing, like a sentence
To set us up.
to set us up for something. And I feel like that's what this is.
Yeah.
Just like a sentence like that. I'm like, I would have liked to have Eragon, just seen him, this 16-year-old be actually severely overwhelmed in the middle of it. And maybe he cut, I'm thinking of The Hobbit. There's a scene where the frickin' king of the elves, I can't remember his name. Thranduil? Something like that. I can't remember his name.
Legolas' dad.
Yeah, Legolas' dad. Where he's in the middle of fighting.
Great wood elf.
Yeah, yes. Where he's fighting and he just takes a beat and he looks around and he sees all of his dead kin and then he goes, we're out of here. So, like, a moment like that where Eragon is, like, fighting and then he's able to, like, Saphira comes in and he's able to take a step back. And you don't even have to describe anything. You just, he looks around at the horror of everything and he just freezes. And then Saphira, Saphira comes and helps him, or Arya comes and, like, he almost gets cut down because he freezes. And then they're like, snap out of it, you can't do it. And so he shoves the horror back. Like, something like that, I feel like would have made a really big difference. And then this would have been
now, because when you're in trauma, your brain will not let you have that.
Yes.
You can't. You have to survive it.
Yes.
And then later on, you kind of just pick up the pieces of it.
Yes. And it's
like,
you can't even really remember.
It's like shards of glass.
Yeah.
And I think that almost is what we're getting here.
Yeah.
But I also think the reason that I find this, because that works. That almost works of like, okay, we didn't get it then, we get it now.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it's paired with the other things that we're being told about, like I mentioned already, that's what makes it feel like this chapter is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Rather than this pretty solid writing approach to handling war in what is meant to be an audience of younger readers.
Yeah.
But then we still get like, okay, you're just telling me that happened. You just told me about Eragon. Like, you just told me about Naswada. You just told me about this. Like, hey, you're doing a lot of telling me some stuff. But yeah, you're right. Like, if Eragon had clocked that Naswada was there.
Yeah.
Now we're reflecting that. Because Paolini does like to try to sprinkle stuff in. Like, when we had that weird line about Eragon having a bad feeling about, like, Murtagh calling Naswada, like, a princess and thinking she's so great. Like, we talked about how, like, hey, it's super weird that Eragon's having this foreboding moment instead of just, like, teasing his buddy for, like, maybe having a crush on this girl.
Yeah.
Like, that was weird, right? So, like, he tries to do that. It doesn't quite stick. But I feel like in this particular case, like, not having a sprinkle of a moment like that here, I would wonder if it's more Paolini realizing after the fact the way he wants Eragon to feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is totally fair.
Yeah, I'm like, it happens. It
You are
absolutely
allowed
happens.
to pivot as a storyteller.
Yeah.
You're allowed to realize, actually, I want to reflect on this more. And to his credit, like, he does the legwork for it. Like,
Yeah.
in the writing,
Yeah,
in
he
the description,
does.
like, the
Absolutely.
blood soaking into his
Into your boots.
Like,
That is so descriptive. Like, because you
evocative.
can imagine, like, they don't walk around in sneakers like we do. They literally walk around in, like, soft leather boots. So
Mhm.
you can
But
see
they're
that.
like, well-made
Yeah, they're
leather
well made.
boots.
And maybe even, like, hard-soled leather boots. But it's still, like, leather boots. And you
And
can
it's
imagine. And it's like,
soaking in the
oh, my
blood.
God.
Like, I
that's
think
a lot.
I'm not saying it's badly written, because I
Yeah,
don't think
oh,
it's
no,
badly
not at
written.
all.
And I think he is doing it is a well constructed in setting us up the things we need
Yes.
before this end of the chapter happens.
Yeah.
I guess the big one I just don't like is the Niswada
This
one.
one-
I guess
not
that's the
mixing.
one.
I would think, I'm like, how cool would it have been if we had a Lady Arwen moment
Yeah.
where she comes in and saves Pippin or
Yeah.
or steps in to save her uncle. It's like Eragon is almost this, and an arrow comes in and he looks back and it's Noswada and he goes, what the? I can't
Yeah.
deal with that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, right?
That
Like,
would've
give
been
us
cool.
this.
That would have been cool.
Because that makes me feel like it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
That makes me feel like a lot of things that happen in this book were not initially the way the narrative was going to go when we were writing the first book. We do have the line about how Niswada is pissed that Ajahad is making her leave.
Yes.
But we even praise that as being like, well, she needs to lead these people.
Yeah.
And I think that helps serve, like, it's not counterintuitive, it doesn't backtrack. And I think it totally tracks with, like, I totally believe Niswada. Like, the reason I'm saying I wish I could have seen it isn't because I don't believe it happened.
Yeah.
I fully believe with the little bit of Niswada we got in Eragon,
Yeah.
she absolutely stayed behind with the archers. I absolutely buy that 100%. I'm just saying I would have liked to see it because
We'd
it
like to
sounded
see
really
it.
cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm like, but that sounds cool.
That sounds cool. I want to see it. Yeah, that's
Why
fair.
are you not? It's like in the Twilight book, the not New Moon, Eclipse.
Okay,
There's this badass vampire werewolf fight going on that we don't get to see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get we have to hang out with some feelings.
Yeah.
But like, why aren't you showing me this cool shit also?
Yeah.
Show me.
I want to see the cool shit.
If you realize as a creator that you're like, wait, there's this really cool thing that the reader's going to know about, but I'm not going to show them. Y'all, there's my writing takeaway. Hey, never miss
Show
the
us the
opportunity
cool
to
shit.
show us the cool scene.
Show us the cool shit.
But all that aside, those are my gripes for this chapter aside.
Yeah.
The ending.
The
is
ending.
still so upsetting, but
Yeah.
like good upsetting. It's supposed to be upsetting.
So I have a couple of criticisms for this chapter. I have to remember my first one, so give me a second.
Please, I feel like I have gone off. So Lucy,
No, you're
please,
good.
You can also. You know, we got one of the reviews we've gotten that are like a lower review is because they don't like us criticizing the book.
They don't like us ranting.
Yeah, well, not even ranting.
Venting.
They just don't like. One person commented like, "I don't get why they're talking about it if they're just going to critique thing. We're all here because we love it."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yes,
that's
we do.
why.
That's where we kill our babies. We kill the things we love. We like to piece apart.
Well, I think it's more that like you should be critical of the things you love. If you're uncritical of it, you don't even love it. Or
Yeah.
if you don't even if you aren't able to think
No, go ahead.
about what it works and what doesn't, then why would you even care?
Yeah. I think also there's a point. There's a point about like analyzing the things that may or may not be like wrong. I feel like is a strong word.
Mhm.
Just things that like
You
don't
didn't
make
like.
you're like poking holes in it.
Yeah.
But you're not like tearing it down.
Yeah, like we were not. If we didn't like this book, we wouldn't do this.
We
'Cause
wouldn't
that
be
wouldn't
doing
be
this.
fun for me.
No,
Like,
not
I'm
at
not
all.
interested
I
in
also
sitting
feel
here.
like if people like listen to us trash talk this book this whole time, like that, I want to say like that's not what we're doing or that's not the intention we're doing. We're not trash talking the book. We're poking holes. But I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I love this series. I love
Yeah.
this series so much. Even if, like I said, I have some criticisms, I just have to remember
But it's
them.
like, and I think, but also the framing device for this show, like our show, is specifically analyzing what we can learn as storytellers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're only taking, I like this, I like this, I like this, like you can learn about the things you could like, but we don't sit there being like it wasn't just like, I hate this chapter, it was lazy. Like we have conversations about like, why didn't this work for me?
Yeah.
What is it about this?
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
the intent in when we are critical about the things that aren't working is for us to figure out why it is.
Yeah, like
Like,
why?
I don't want our show ever just to feel like we're tearing things apart, because I feel like if you're tearing things apart, you aren't trying to. We're trying to figure out how it works.
yeah,
Or what is, or why it doesn't work.
yeah.
So, but a flip side, if that's not fun for you to listen to, no hate. There are
Oh yeah, yeah,
Go
absolutely.
find another show. Like, for real. No hate. Like,
no
I have
hate.
stopped listening to shows for far less, so I totally get
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
This is also not me being critical of the person who like left the review. I just realized I never told you about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's no worry, and that's like for real. Like to each their own. Like I'm not. No hard feelings at all. So I remembered my first criticism.
Please.
My first criticism is that there is no stench. These bodies, all of this has been sitting here for 3 days. There is no mention.
But it's cold.
It is cold.
It's
but
stupid cold.
I mean, okay, that's fair. My big thing, I'm like, there should be some kind. These bodies have been sitting out here.
Because it's even blood.
And
even
they even talk about rotting. They talk about They talk about where is it? And now he had come to the site of combat driven by a morbid desire to see its aftermath. Upon reviving, he found nothing but the uncomfortable presence of death and decay, not the glory that heroic songs had led him to expect. So there's decay there. So it's like, even if it's cold, I feel like there should be. I mean, in the summer, it would have been a lot worse. Like, because
they're also like in a mountain.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like, spilled
But they're
blood.
in a dome. They're in a dome. It is contained. There is no fresh air. They've talked about how stale the air is in there.
Right.
There is no, so I'm like,
so
there is no
Why?
There's no stench. And I don't know. They don't really like Paolini doesn't really explain why, but I'm like, if there was somebody like walking around with like everyone had to walk around with scarves over their mouths because it's like just because I'm like, even if it's cold, I don't know if that would prevent. It's not frost.
No, you're
so
right.
Nothing
You're
is
You're
freezing.
totally right. You're totally
so
right.
So that was like my first critique is like they aren't. No one in there is overpowered by the sheer stench of what is obviously a horrific battle and numerous corpses that are still there. And they are currently burning the orcs over in a corner.
Are you burning the orcs, you say?
Oh, dang it. I keep saying orcs. They're orcs. Burning the urgles with no stench or anything. And burning flesh is very stinky.
I like that line. About like how the Urgles will not receive an honorable burial.
Yes, an honorable
like,
burial.
Ooh,
yep,
evocative.
Absolutely.
No, but you're right. And that is a really interesting oversight because the rest of the description is so strong. Like the visuals of it. They even have like a tactile of like the blood in the boots that we talked about. Like,
and even
so
like it's very real because it's just very real because Eragon picks up a molar. And I feel like that's like just even that like small thing of death is like.
Well, Lucy, you know what the reason for this is Eragon has no sense of smell.
He has no nose.
This is what we've learned. He has no nose.
Actually,
he was born without a
nose. He doesn't have a nose.
This is the first time learning. This is actually what our takeaway is. That
like Saphira, with her heightened senses, would have been dying. Maybe she couldn't even join Eragon walking through because she's like, I fucking can't.
Yeah, or she's just like, we hear her struggling because it's just so awful.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a really.
So that was like one of my critiques where but I'm like again, like as a kid when I'm reading this, doesn't even cross my mind.
No,
not at all. Like in any way, shape, or form, I'm not even thinking about that. But I get like as an adult,
now it's like a missed opportunity to bring you like if you can bring the senses into a scene. And you're right, that was a big opportunity that wasn't tapped into.
Yeah, because everyone's just walking around. There's women who are keening, and
keening's a great word.
Yeah, it really is. And they're then they're like what's his face Jormungandr runs up and is like, hey, we need you over here. Ajahad and his group are coming back, and they're like, okay. And then they run that way, and then there's a little group just chilling there. No one is like gagging at the smell. No one is like, I literally can't. There's not people who are like I wish Ajahad and his group would hurry up because I literally can't be out here for this long with all of this gestures at battle. So it's like, I don't know, that was something that I was like just a little missing.
No, you're right, totally. That's such a good point. I didn't even clock it, but absolutely.
And then what was my other critique? Oh, my other critique is that the tunnel, like I said, the Jormungandr comes up and they go wait for Ajahad and everything. Where they are sitting at, it is a 5 mile between them and all the other tunnels. Why aren't y'all waiting at the tunnels?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you're
because they can't get there in time.
Well, I mean, they're waiting. What does it say? They wait like a half hour.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they not know what tunnel he's gonna come out of?
I don't. Yeah, maybe. But I'm also like, Eragon could.
But they know he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they could be closer.
This is a whole. Why did Arya stay with Saphira instead of Eragon with the armor thing? It's because they could not get to them in time. Yeah. But you're right. It's like.
That's like,
that was weird.
It doesn't,
You knew they were coming.
You knew they were coming, and they didn't try to meet them halfway. Because I think, like, where will Ajahad come from? No, they know exactly.
What?
Where will Ajahad come from? Asked Eragon. Orc pointed at the cluster of lanterns staked around a large tunnel opening a couple of miles away. He should be here soon. Like, they know he's going to appear.
He should be here soon. Yeah. And then half an hour passed. They could have... You could walk 5 miles in half an hour.
Yeah. Especially, like, also, like, Eragon... Hey, Eragon, Saphira, why don't you fly ahead?
Yeah, okay. Maybe you can't walk. How... So cross-country meet is 5 kilometers.
I'm trying to think, like, running the
that's
mile...
less than 5 miles.
Running a mile, what is it? Like, the average is, like, 6 minutes, and that's running.
And that's crazy fast, though. I think when I was in cross-country, my average was, like, longer than that. But
mine was, yeah,
So
no.
I'm not... You're right. I'm not saying... Okay, so they couldn't
You
have
could
walked
get
5
close.
You could be... Yeah,
You
much
could be
closer.
like a mile. And also, after
Also,
this attack
Eragon
happens...
flew out. Arya ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah, half an hour? If they were half an hour closer?
Oh, Eragon, like I said, like
yeah.
Eragon and Saphira and Arya could have been there with them, like, slowly. And it's also like, hey, we don't know if they killed everything. Like, they don't analyze. Like, I do feel like at the moment they're not expecting an attack. But I also feel like there's still Urgles loose in the caverns. There's a possibility that when they're coming out, there's going to be confusion and stuff like this. Maybe I'm overanalyzing that because I'm like, I know the attack happened. We know the attack happened. I'm like, they could have foresaw that. But I'm sure in the moment, no one did. But I also feel like as a good precaution.
They thought they were safe.
Yeah. But I also feel like as a good precaution, it's like, Eragon, why don't you go greet?
But even like...
I don't know.
Yeah, even if they thought they were safe... There's no reason for them to wait so
5 miles away. Yeah.
And wait for half an hour not doing anything. It's not like they were doing anything.
They were literally just standing around waiting.
Yeah.
So that's my second critique.
If they had arrived in time and saw them coming out at that moment and didn't have enough time. They were going... Yeah. That one's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep. But
anyway, this rest of the sequence is... Oh my God! No, everything is so upsetting.
And I do.
No.
It's again like in this whole thing. I think Paolini shows a great sense of pacing because the battle is over. Everything is slow. I mean, they're waiting for a half hour. It's slow and stuff. And all of a sudden, before they went more than 5 yards, the tunnel behind them swarmed with a flurry of activity as more figures jumped out. And it's like all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. It's happening. And I do really like where Saphira recognizes them as Urgles, and everyone's like, all right, let's frickin' move. And they jump into action. And I do like Eragon was forced to watch helplessly as the Urgles fell on the rear of Ajahad's warriors. And how hard that must have been. Like, you literally, and like he says, like, he could not work magic over such a distance.
Which is like,
it's
Eragon, I'm so proud of you. Good job.
He
would have tried.
He would have tried. Oh, absolutely, he would have tried.
He would have tried. It would have been bad.
Yeah.
So I like. It's like that one feels like is like a little like, oh, he can't do magic. It's too far away.
Yeah.
But so many times in the last book, Eragon has not learned that lesson.
Yeah.
That I'm like, that one I'm totally satisfied with.
Yes, absolutely.
When they. Oh God, it's they know they're too late. They know there's nothing they can do.
And the whole, like, how it hits Eragon, is that kind of where you're...
Yeah. It's the Urgles converge on him, blocking Eragon's view as he stared with rising horror and fear. No. And then the moment Saphira touched down, Eragon vaulted off, then faltered, overcome by grief and anger. I can't do this. It reminded him too much of when he returned to the farm to find his uncle Garo dying. Fighting back his dread with every step, he began to search for survivors. That of like, I can't do this.
It's like coming back to the broken, burning farm and then knowing what must be there.
Knowing what you're going to find.
Yeah.
Like when he came back to the heart the first time, he didn't know what he was going to find. He still had like some remnant of hope.
Yeah.
And we said, like, he's numb to this. Like, there's no hope. Like, Eragon already knows he is not going to find anything good. Like, it's too late.
Yep.
But that... I don't know, that feeling of like, I can't do this, having to relive a moment that is so similar to other trauma.
Yeah.
It's very, listen, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The end of this chapter is what hits it hard.
Really hard. And it's also like stacked on top of the, like, what the trauma of being in a fight, the trauma of being seriously wounded, and then the reliving of trauma in this moment. It just fucking stacks for him. Absolutely. I do want to point out there's a moment in the fight that's really weird, and I feel like this threw me off as a kid, and I just want to point attention to it because it's mentioned. For a minute, it seemed the defenders would be able to resist the Urgles, but then a swirl of motion disturbed the air, like a faint band of mist wrapping itself around the combatants. When it cleared, only 4 warriors were standing. Ajahad, the twins, and Murtagh. The Urgles converged on them, blocking Eragon's view.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's weird.
That's weird.
Where it blurred and he couldn't really quite see what was going on. And it could be like, that could also be like in the middle of fighting combatants and the bodies moving and stuff like that. But it's really interesting that after all, like whatever happened, and then you were very clearly to see those 4.
Yeah.
And the Urgles were like, jumped on them.
Because they weren't alone. It wasn't just Ajahad, Murtagh, and the twins.
It was like
it was a band of people.
There was 10. I think they describe as 10 humans and 10 humans and 10 dwarfs, I think.
Yeah, so there was a band of 24, plus 2 very powerful magic users.
Yep, a group of 10 men climbed out onto the ground, then turned and helped out as many dwarves. So there was like 24.
Yeah.
There was 24 of them there.
Yeah, you can tell something weird happened. This wasn't just, they were unlucky. The Urgle's like...
No, it looked like they were going to win. Something happened and weird shit happened.
Spoiler-free podcast. The chapter's called A Twin Disaster. So
No comment from Lucy.
So we get to the scene. And Ajahad cannot be healed. He's still alive, but it's
bad. I do like how it's
5 Urgles he has slain because this man does not go down easy.
Nah, he's a badass.
Even in death, of course, he's gonna get our big damn hero moment for Ajahad.
Yep, and I do like no one could heal such wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arya comes up and she goes, "Yep, he can't be saved." Because I'm thinking like for Arya, who's the more powerful of Eragon, I think like she must realize in order to fix that, it's like a life sacrifice, and I feel like even then it wouldn't be guaranteed.
Enough. Like he's dying.
There's no coming back from it. Absolutely.
But we get a very important on his deathbed.
Yep, his last word.
Shall we do a reading?
I can't do as well as the audiobook.
No,
the audiobook does
is
such a
really
freaking good job. But Eragon.
Yes, I'm here.
Listen to me, Eragon. I have one last command for you. You must promise me something. Promise that you won't let the Varden fall into chaos. They are the only hope for resisting the Empire. They must be kept strong. You must promise me.
I promise.
Then peace be with you, Eragon Shadeslayer. It's very powerful line.
It's very... is this the first time Eragon Shadeslayer, or did they mention it in the last
They've
book?
mentioned it.
Okay,
They've mentioned it a couple times. I think 3 days since he had killed Durza, 3 days since people began calling him Shadeslayer.
Okay.
So...
Another thing that we just are told.
Yeah.
And then shown. Pretty cool. I guess we have to build up for it. If we hadn't been told they were already calling him that, it would have been weird to have Ajahad just be like Shadeslayer and be like, I don't know, it would have been kind of cool with his final breath, Ajahad is the one that called him Shadeslayer, and then everyone called him Shadeslayer. I don't know, man. It's fine. Whatever. We've already dissected that. Damn. It's devastating, and Arya blesses Ajahad in a ripple of the ancient language.
Yep.
Ripple of the ancient. It's such a good
word choice here. Yes.
But then he clocks that
Saphira does.
Saphira clocks
Saphira
that the twins
notices
and Murtaghs are not among
They're not among the den.
Are not among the dead.
And then Eragon looks around and goes, "Oh yeah, you're right.
The Urgles don't take prisoners."
Yep.
So they're like, we can't go into the dwarf tunnels. We will get stupid lost.
Yep.
Saphira can't even fit into this tunnel, which is probably why they didn't go with Ajahad when all this was going on.
Absolutely.
Saphira can't even go.
Yep.
So they ask Arya to please, will you go?
Yep.
And she does for you, is what she says. And I don't hate that.
Yep.
And then Oric rolls up with everyone else, and
it's rough.
It's rough. It's rough. Everything's real bad.
I do like how Oric describes it as now a hornet's nest has broken.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
everything's going to go. We already knew that things were very fragile
Yeah.
with all of these like political components and things
Yes.
like that. And this should be a victory that should like reinvigorate. They're like, okay, we beat back Gobatorix's forces in this moment.
Yep.
That should reassure the dwarves, even though like, and Eragon was here and he killed a shade, and that should
Yeah.
reassure the dwarves of their hesitance. We should, once the elves know Arya is okay and what this happens, like that should help get them back on board. Like this
Yep.
should be a moment that strengthens these forces that are all against Galbatorix but not strongly aligned in this
Yeah.
moment. And instead, with Ajahad's death, we lose that instantly.
Yep.
Ajahad knows that.
Yep. He knows it.
And with
Yep.
his dying words, he is like, keep the Varden together.
Yep.
Do not let this happen.
Yep.
And that's really good. And then I like how Auric, when the men catch up, and he's like, we have to, get some dwarves that'll be able to help lead the way. And Auric volunteers to do
Yeah.
this. And Jormund, I keep wanting to say Jormungandr because
Yeah.
it is obviously a reference to the world serpent. And so, but he says like, no, Hrothgar will need you now. Someone else will have to go.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Eragon, but everyone important must stay here until Ajahad's successor is chosen. Arya will have to fend for herself. We cannot overtake her anyway. So like, no one else will be sent.
Yep.
Like there is nothing else, and it's like, yeah. Everyone important.
Yeah.
Like they can't. This is a crisis. This is a
Yes,
political crisis,
absolutely.
and we need to pick who's going to lead us in this moment. Because if they wait too long and there is a power vacuum, like things are going to go. Nature abhors a power vacuum. Things are about to get real bad.
Yep. Absolutely. I do like how Eragon asks her to do it. She goes in, and then Auric and Jormungandr is like, "That was a bad idea. She shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, and they know that, but it's like.
They need
But like
confirmation.
maybe, but like what if you could get
Yeah.
Murtagh?
Yeah, Murtagh.
My guy!
The boy.
No!
We gotta make sure he's safe.
That
Come
was the
on.
most, I mean, Ajahad dying,
Yeah.
I was shocked. He was
Yeah,
so cool.
but
like
Murtagh
Murtagh
vanished.
being gone was
Yeah,
the thing that I
and
remember as
it's-
a kid. I was like, no!
Yeah, because it's literally like, because we grow to like Murtagh, and then we're like everyone doesn't trust him. But then it's like in this, he's volunteering himself to do these things to prove that he is not a threat, to prove that he is trustworthy, and people are starting to trust him.
Yeah, they're like, I love the line Eragon has where he thinks like, we are all too busy to worry about. This,
to
like,
worry about
petty,
a petty hate or something.
Yeah, like these grudges that are
Yeah.
largely like undeserved towards this person in
Yeah.
particular.
Absolutely. And then he's taken, or assumedly taken.
Yes, Ajahad,
or
his
at least
body is taken. Go on.
Yeah, or I was gonna say, or at least like killed and then taken, which is weird. But either way, his body's not there.
Yeah,
So
it's weird. So we got to figure out.
yeah,
But then they lift. I love this line.
Yeah.
When Jormungandr is gesturing to like how many Urgles he slew.
yep,
And they're going to carry him back to Trondheim. And do not be ashamed to let your tears be seen, for this is a day of sorrow that all will remember.
Yep.
May we soon have the privilege of sheathing our blades in the monsters who have slain our leader. Checkbox for monsters.
reference,
Not
yeah.
villains, not enemy, monsters.
Yep.
Just as the warriors knelt, bearing their heads in homage to Ajahad. Then they stood and reverently lifted him on their shields, so he lay between their shoulders. Already many of the Varden wept, tears flowing into their beards. Yet they did not disgrace their duty and allow Ajahad to fall.
Yep.
I liked that line a lot too.
Yep, I do too. And then it's like, I like the last line too. With solemn steps, they marched back to Trondheim, Saphira and Eragon in the middle of the procession. What
Heavy.
a heavy first chapter.
Heavy first chapter.
Heavy first chapter.
Compared to like the prologue. You mentioned this. It's weird that there's not a prologue.
It's interesting that there's not a prologue in this book.
Yeah. Do the other ones have prologues?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
I think that's what I was trying to look at
Yeah.
this morning when I couldn't find this book, and then I totally forgot because I couldn't find the
Yeah,
book.
and I don't own any of the copies.
I'll have to look at
I
it.
got myself a nice hardback copy of Eragon, y'all.
Yeah.
It was at the thrift store, and I found one. And I'm like, great, because obviously I need one. And then I proceeded to also pick up a really great janky paperback copy of Eldest.
Yeah.
That already has a tear off of the back cover.
Chunk, yep.
And it used to belong to, I'm guessing the name was Crumley,
Yeah.
written at the top.
Mine
So,
was
love it.
Mine was Matt Burke.
Matt Burke.
It's got a phone number in here and everything.
Oh no! Matt really wanted to make sure he got his book back. If he
Matt,
lost it.
I mean, fair.
Same map. It's got the map. Same map as
Yep.
before. Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Oh, maybe we should talk about like the dragon.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah,
what
the
did you
dragon on the
think
front.
when you saw the dragon on the cover?
I I think when I was younger and I did this, I was just like, oh yeah, dragon book. It's just another dragon, and it's red because bad things happen. I think that's where my brain went.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Yeah. I think that was what I thought. I didn't really piece it together.
I think so too. I was like, well, the first one had Saphira, who's our blue dragon, and now we have a red dragon. But I don't think I stopped to be like,
but
what the
why?
fuck is this dragon?
Yeah.
Like, there are no other dragons except for
no
Saphira and Galbatorix's dragon, who is black.
Yep.
So, Shuriken,
the black dragon.
Not a ninja star.
Nope.
So I think, and as a kid, I did not even reflect, like, the hell is this dragon on the cover?
Yeah.
So, crazy, y'all. Who the hell is this red dragon on the cover?
Red dragon?
I mean, the
pretty
neat.
Cover? Looking spooky.
Looking spooky. But yeah, pretty jazzed about getting started. I would also, I was half joking earlier, but for real, I think the writing takeaway is like, hey, make sure you're not accidentally not describing some really cool stuff that we could see.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I agree with that.
Just
like,
saying.
give us the cool scenes.
Let us see the cool
stuff.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Want to be wowed.
Yep.
So, y'all, I think, and for our question of the episode, what other openings to some piece of media, be it first chapter of a book or like a video game or a movie or something like that, left you being like, whoa, I wasn't expecting? Luce?
I'll go first. BioShock. Where you crash land a plane and then you go into a lighthouse and then it brings you down to this underworld city and then you immediately see one of the like I don't know, like the bad guys, the people, the splicer, like just like take out this guy who's supposed to help you, and you're just like, and then you're able to walk around and you're like, whoa. Okay, that's an opening.
Yeah. I've also got a video game.
Yeah.
So Jack 2, the sequel to Jack and Dexter.
Okay, yeah.
We had Jack and Dexter. My whole family played it a lot. I think only my brother Johnny actually beat it. He loved the Jack and Dexter games. We got Jack 2. The Jack and Dexter game is like this really cute PlayStation 2, like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank type aesthetic with this like elf dude and his buddy that's been turned into like a meerkat ferret thing.
Yeah.
And he cracks jokes and they jump and you have to like get eco power to fight monsters, but it's very bright, it's very colorful. You have like a spinning kick move it's that kind of very like E for everyone game.
Yep.
The Jack 2 opens with the cute science girl Jack has a crush on building this portal that they get sucked through into this portal, and you end up in this post-apocalyptic future that opens with and I don't know why, I can't remember, but our protagonist Jack, who has never said anything, it's like a Link situation, right? Where it's not like he's not necessarily mute. He just, whenever he goes to speak, our comic relief character Daxter says something instead, right? So he is experimented on and tortured for who knows XYZ amount of time before he's finally recognized. And so we open back after this thing with him being trapped in an evil lab and being experimented on with the dark eco.
Oh no.
And Daxter showing up and able to finally free him, and he bursts out, kills all the scientists, and said, I'm gonna fucking kill Praxis. And this game has guns.
Yep.
So I remember watching that opening scene with my brother Johnny being like, so this is a different kind of game. It was, the sequel did come out in that edgy era. I think this was a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah.
To understand the shift that happened. I do sometimes wonder what the sequel of Jack and Dexter would have looked like if not, it was a Naughty God game too.
Okay.
So the original game felt like it was, you would pair it with, like I said, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Crash Bandicoot was our vibes.
Yeah.
And then Naughty Dog took a turn with this bad boy.
Hard
and I don't think it was bad. My brother loves these games.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes wonder what that sequel would have looked like if we hadn't gone the edgy route.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being very shocked.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. What's your thoughts?
Maybe some of them were just super fun and delightful.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them were charming.
Like the unexpected,
and not quite
like,
as like, oh no,
because
bad
it's
things.
And going on like the good things, both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, when you come out and see the world for the first time, is literally breathtaking.
Yeah.
So like that.
And I would say like the kind of early opening scenes of Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
where they're trying to rescue Han Solo, and then the first time we get to see Luke, and he is a full Jedi Knight now. That's a pretty great opener.
Yep.
That's super fun where we left off. So, like, listen, all vibes are good vibes.
Yep,
in
yep.
this thing. But yeah, hey, y'all, we're really happy to be back.
We're so happy to be back. I am so excited to read this book.
It's going to be a really,
gosh.
really good time.
I'm so excited to read this book.
I'm so excited to read
Look at this
book.
chunky boy. Look at him.
And I'm also so excited because I have like a full, like a longer copy, so it's not this tiny little stout one that I had before, where I think our page layout are the same this time.
Yeah, I think probably.
So, I'm pretty pleased. Before we wrap up, Lucy
Yes.
wanted to shout out our new patron.
Yes, our new Patreon. However you say it. Allie R.
Yay, Allie.
Yes.
Allie is the newest member of the Dragon's Keep.
Yes.
I don't know if we've said on the main feed yet that we... no, we wouldn't have because we didn't come up with this. This is the first episode of Eldest.
Yes.
The patron is now called the Dragon's Keep.
Yep.
Because I think that sounds very cool.
It is very much,
It is dragons plural, so the apostrophe is after the S because Lucy and I are the dragons. And also, all of our patrons are also the dragons.
Yes.
So... thank you so much, Allie, for joining us there. Thank you so much for supporting the show.
Yes, thank you so much.
It means so much to us that
Absolutely.
you not only want more of us in your life, wow, but also believe in this thing we're making so much that you want to help us make it. Like, we deeply appreciate that.
Yes, much so.
Dear listeners, if any of you would like to join us in the Dragon's Keep and hear us talk about everything from Anne McCaffrey's Dragonflight to Dragonology to Dragons of Fantasy Made Real, you can join us over there. Patreon.com/EABA.
Yeah, and then if you can't support us financially, totally understandable.
Absolutely.
Like,
Money is...
Yes.
Eggs are $8.
Yes. Things are kind of crazy. So just being able to support like on here and just like, I don't know, just giving us a listen, coming to hang out with us every other week and just being...
commenting, sharing your thoughts.
Sharing our thoughts is always cool. Emailing, that's also super welcome. And we just really, really appreciate all of that.
Yeah, we appreciate you all so much.
So much.
And hey, thank you so much for joining us again for season 2 and Eldest.
Yes, super. Thank you.
We're jazzed to be back.
So jazzed.
Until next time, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smartt.
And this is Eragon.
And back again.